Mic check, check. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This video is going to be raw and uncut. I don't have the editing software. I'm just going to show you what I've been doing. Oh yes, of course, this is another budgeting video. This is Valdez Budgetz. I'm probably only going to say this once of the many videos I'm going to probably try to make. Welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe. Yes, it's my only video, but it's not my first YouTube run. Once upon a time, I used to have a YouTube channel. I did some things on there, and it went pretty well. And then last year, sometime, I decided to do some things where it wasn't acceptable to some, and I got rid of all my social media. That included my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook. My only social media that I have is LinkedIn, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. I'm an all cash budgeter, just like all the rest of them out there. But I don't have any cute nails or anything like that, or cool dreads. I've got a low budget book over there. I got a bunch of, yeah, this is real money, by the way. I know some of you out there use prop bills. I'm not quite there yet. The purpose of this video is to just show you what I've gone through, especially in the last 3 weeks, or the last few months, and then leading up to the last 3 weeks. I am going through a divorce. I am in a bankruptcy. I got a shitload of debt. Oh yes, there's going to be some sentence enhancers in here, so if you'd like to click away, do it now. There won't be any F-bombs, I think, but sentence enhancers are pretty much going to be used. Where was I? Yeah, so I'm broke for the most part, right? A couple months ago, I was doom scrolling on the YouTube shorts. That's how they get you, right? So around 10 o'clock at night, I see something about cash. I'm like, oh yeah, I like money, just like the rest of us. And it was a quick short. Again, lady had on some beautiful nails. I don't know the name. I've watched since then. I've watched tons of them. And she stuffed some money away and had a little caption on there about why they do that. I'm like, oh, I was like, huh, I got an old busted envelope with a bunch of ones in it. Is that what they mean? Years ago, I just started collecting ones and fives, and then kind of have like an emergency type fund, just in case, right? It was always those ones, just in case, right? I always used to try to have $1,000 as a buffer for something, right? No, it wasn't from the Dave Ramsey stuff. I just recently found out about him and this cash envelope stuffing or cash envelope method. So I went in to go do that. So I grabbed my old busted envelope, one of those, white envelopes, because it would change hands, change pockets anytime I would need to use it or stuff in there. And then I started to go down that rabbit hole of budgeting and cash stuffing and how cool it was that all these lovely things that they had laying around. I'm like, oh, cool. How do I get into that? So again, down the rabbit hole further and further. And then I was like, okay, how do I get started? Some of the videos don't really necessarily tell you how to get started unless you go backtrack through or find the keywords. This one for the keywords is going to be showing you what I do or what I've done so far. Taking the knowledge of what has been already given on the internet, right? We all love the internet. Everything we see on there, we believe for the most part. And then we went from there. So months ago, I started doing this cash stuffing or zero-based budget. That didn't make quite too much sense to me because of different bills. But then as soon as I got my bank statements, I saw what was coming out, what I was spending money on. And after the harsh truth of adding up all my spending, holy smokes. I used to be a magician once upon a time, and I'm not that good, but I was really good at making money disappear and not coming back for no reason whatever. I'd pull money out, put it in my pocket, and all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. I didn't lose it. Nobody stole it. It exchanged hands for services and goods, and it was gone. I have nothing to show for it. So I decided to do this cash stuffing stuff, right? I started with an envelope, looked like this, one of these type of things, an actual money envelope for money. I used to carry one of these around after the the white envelopes, because those get tattered and torn. So these are a little bit more robust. You can write on them. You can throw. I can fit about 30 bills in here. Doesn't matter the denomination. Okay, we're not playing who has the most. And then scouring through the internet, you find other things, right? I don't know everybody's name. I wish I did, because I go through video after video after video, but then some of the same names come up, like the Budget Mom. She had some free stuff, and anything on the internet we like to get free, right? Especially if you're, cheap, or excuse me, frugal like me. So I would use some of these envelopes, and I would, exchange hands, or excuse me, exchange pockets, and to carry them around. I'm like, okay, this is, I'm a guy, and I don't carry a bag. I do carry a fanny pack sometimes, right, or a tactical pouch around my waist with whatever you say it is. I still carry that now and again. And at the same time, I'm like, well, what else do I put it in? And then, scouring the internet again, I found Budgetz. I like that guy. He's cool. Dude bankrolls a lot of money to play with, or excuse me, to budget with, and that can be demoralizing to some. He's got his stuff together. When he first started, it is demoralizing that you see people with all this money. You're like, where did it come from? Is it fake money? Is it real money? No, those are real $2 bills. And the reason why I stacked it like this, I was going to show you guys, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. He doesn't carry any of these books. He doesn't carry any of these type of envelopes. But what he does carry are tiny envelopes. I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I started carrying tiny envelopes, just like he does, right? And I'm like, where did they get these things? I made my own, because again, the internet is beautiful, and there are people that make them and sell them, which is awesome. These ones here are, vellum laminated. My son likes to draw, so he likes to draw. This is for our out and about stuff. So anytime we're out and about, this is the cash that we use. Does budgeting work? Absolutely. Is it easy to stick to? Hell no. It's like smoking, right? Smoking is the easiest thing to quit. I've quit thousands of times. 6 years ago, I quit for the last time, which is great. But it is one of those things that becomes a habit that you have to try to do. Now, where do you start? Do you start stuffing cash? Do you pull cash from somewhere? You don't. Again, you get your bank statements. You take a look at your spending, right? You beat yourself up verbally, and then you get over it and say, okay, what do I need to do to make my money last or make my money work for me? And for the most part, at a zero-based budget, you want every dollar to have a name, to have a job, to have an assignment, right? There are rabbit holes you can get into when you're doing a monthly paycheck, weekly paycheck, bi-weekly, you have to do the research. Do the research before you start to get into all of these things, right? And I'll go over those in a little bit also. Again, this video is raw and uncut. It is unscripted for the most part. Here is somewhat a real version of my budget. This is from the Budget Mom. I got one of those happy planner things. It was on sale, like $7.49 at Hobby Lobby, and it is an actual budget one. And some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I don't like, but I like this here because it lists what you're supposed to do. So if you don't know what to do with this, look it up. Budget by paycheck, right? You list your bills, the amounts, and you come down to your variable expenses, meaning the stuff that after you take care of your bills, the stuff that you need, right? So I put food and gas as a bill, but it's a variable expense that I need, right? Don't trip over the amounts, okay? Maybe in another video I'll explain them. And we come to sinking funds. Definitions aside, sinking funds are money you put away, like literally put away, in the event you need it or when you need it. Okay, that is totally different from a emergency fund, right? An emergency fund. Now, my emergency fund right now is at $1,200, right? I took it out to it so I can play with it, right? As budgeting people or budgeters, we love to play with our money, just to make sure it's there, right? It's that tactile function of holding the money. And so people say, well, yeah, I don't like money. It's dirty. Hell yeah, it's dirty. But at the same time, when I give this dollar away or these $2 away, right, it's nothing. If I give this $50 away, right, and I'm like, oh man, it leaves my hands, and all of a sudden I get change back. And I'm like, what do I do to those? Stuff it in my pockets, okay? But if you give your money a job, right, and you give your coworkers or your employees away, it's like, oh, you'll miss them, and you'll make sure they're accounted for every single time. So that's my mentality with it. When I give money out of my one of my mini wallets that I have, um, we do get complimented on these. I tell them my kids help me make all of this stuff. My son put the stickers on. I just put the tape on. He supplied me with some of the other stickers and some other stickers my kids have provided me, just so I can show them that they're involved too, because this is their money too, right? Yes, daddy pays the bills, but at the same time, their fund money comes and it goes. Where does it come from? Where does the school money come from? Where's the electricity money come from? Um, so I laminate this because, yeah, I'm cheap. I don't necessarily sit there and make 1,000 copies because I like to write a lot. And when I laminated this, I use a Sharpie pen, a marker to write on there. And when it's done, I take a expo marker, right? And hopefully all of you guys and gals know this, or human beings, whatever, that if you can erase Sharpie, okay? Once upon a time, I used to draw or write on marker boards every single day. And sometimes I'd grab a marker quick and be like, oh, I need to mark it. And sometimes I'd mark stuff up with a permanent marker. And after everybody laughs, right? It's not kids, it's grown adults, right? We're adults. Well, sort of. We're kids masquerading as adults, right? I'm only serious on paydays because the numbers have to be right. I can't be a kid and go, oh yeah, let's put extra zeros at the end of my check. But I do that, and I follow the worksheet here. Yes, I didn't explain the whole worksheet. That's okay, because guess what? Due to the internet and YouTube, there are 1,000,001 videos on how to do and use these type of worksheets. You don't have to use this one. Inside that book over there, there's another one. But basically, you get your bills and you get your income, and you start subtracting from there, right? And then allocating, or you're going to learn new definitions too that you normally don't use, right? You're going to up your vocabulary, right? You're going to neuroplasticity, grow your brain. So you're going to learn some new vocabulary also. And with those that are still budgeting or have been budgeting for years, they learn some things too. So today I want to show you the things that I have learned, so you can kind of skip certain parts of the process, or please bite, take, pilfer. I lost my job 3 weeks ago. I was laid off. I had just moved into an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment with my kids, beginning of October, and a week before Thanksgiving, they said, "Hey, we're downsizing." It was a good one. It was I was a part of what was it called? It's a number unit that they use throughout the company, US wide, to say, "Hey, we don't need these positions anymore." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool. It's a business decision." Style and grace. I left. I think I'm still processing the emotions, because I already done the freak out about, oh my God, what about the money? Okay, the budget. Because I've seen some videos out there where people have lost their job. They freaked out. They were in shock, but at the same time, their budget, their emergency fund, all their bills and stuff were covered because they had started budgeting their money. So I was very fortunate with that. Yes, I'm gonna start collecting unemployment soon. I'm working with a career coach to get things underway, but budgeting itself, the knack of counting accurately. I don't count accurately. I'm not counting for you guys today because I've seen some of the comments in other people's videos, and y'all get at them for missing a number, right? It's their money. They'll find out where it is, okay? They're doing this for a hobby. If it's their full-time job, cool, right? We were all bad at one time, okay? Haters make us better, right? If you're gonna hate on me, please do it appropriately. But yeah, no job. Currently looking. I may have to relocate to a different city. I don't know. I'd love to show you around my apartment, but you're going to look at it and go, holy smokes, he lives like that? Yes, I got boxes still. I just moved in last month, or it's December, whoops. I moved in October. And so I got boxes and boxes of stuff. That's a whole nother story too. Again, remember, I'm getting divorced. I'm in the bankruptcy. My bankruptcy is almost done. My Chapter 13 is almost done. And people are like, are you able to budget on Chapter 13? Well, you're supposed to, right? Because every time I get paid, money comes out that I don't see. That's been like that for the last couple of years. And now that I have a severance pay that's going to be given, the money still comes out of that, right? Uncle Sam needs that money. I don't know where it's going, but let's not get into that. So budget sheet, right? Look it up, right? Budget Mom got a good one. Um, he budgets. He's a uh, computer budgeter or digital budgeter, which is that it was cool too. I dabbled in that also. If you're not good with Excel, guess what? The internet can help you. So it helped me with some formulas and how to talk to one page to another. So I have my budget on a digital platform, and I have it in a analog or non-digital platform. Um, the gear that you need. This is all you need. Oh, and one of those. Oh, see, I got the fancy ones, right? The T30XS. I got two of them, and then one of these. With my recent job or career, I used to punch a lot of numbers, right? So I got this giant calculator because I like the sound, right? There's other good ones out there, but this is a Mr. Pen one. I'm not going to name everything out here. I only just remember because there was a deal on it on Amazon. So I love to punch numbers. I got rid of this one. Most of you know what this one is because I'd punch it here and I'd get here, and it's like I don't like the 00 because well, my budget doesn't really call for that high of a denomination. So that's all you need, right? Oh, and your bank statements, right? Start listing those things, right? If you like to use a lot of paper, use a lot of paper. If not, use laminated. I have a laminator. I have my family, my kids and I, we do a lot of, projects and crafts and things like that. We're very hands-on with that type of stuff. So I like to reuse certain things. They're a deal on Temu and Amazon. They're a budget binder. My son gave me the stickers. You can get the letter stickers, Walmart, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, things like that. And what people like to show is, what their binder setup is, right? Everybody's binder setup and budget is going to be different. The only commonality that we have with it is the money, right? Some have more than others, but it's the money, right? That's the only commonality. Your stuff doesn't have to look like mine. Mine doesn't have to look like everybody else's. And again, because if I could rock some nails, I would. I'm just joking. It doesn't fit with my personality. But these envelopes, right, we can get into in another video, or if not, say, hey, what are variable expenses? And then look that up. And the YouTube budget gods and goddesses and people will show you what those are, right? I'm not here to compete with them. I'm just here to show the stuff that I've learned that actually fits for me, right? Because that bottom binder that I have there's nothing in it. Or there's envelopes in it, but there's no money in it because I had to redo my budget, redo my sinking fund for the next year, right? So I have things that are high priority sinking funds, right? High priority savings that I'm gonna use soon or eventually, right? It's not my emergency fund or later down the line savings where it stays there. These will get used, so it's better to have the money to use them now rather than go, oh, I need new tires, and well, there goes my paycheck, or I don't have the money for it. I got to take out a loan, right? Minimizing debt or getting rid of it is the thing to do with the budgeting. Do we all like money? Absolutely. Do we want to have more of it? Absolutely. Will budgeting get you more of it? If you do it correctly and stick to it, yes. So I'm just showing you towards the back are my, low priority sinking funds. Some of you out there will go like, no, that's not a low priority. That should be a high priority. Okay. Again, I've only been doing it a couple months. Your priorities may be different than mine. Okay. My priorities are my kids right now. Oh, and looking for a job. All the other good stuff. But these envelopes, they'll come with a binder. You can buy them on your own. You can buy the stickers, things like that. There are concepts with sinking funds and other types of savings, like the 1 month ahead thing, meaning get all your bills saved or the amount of bills saved up for the month ahead so you can not worry about things. But that's what your emergency fund is for, and that's what these sinking funds are for. Start super slow, like save all your change, throw it in a jar, don't touch it, right? And with that, we'll move on to sinking funds, or excuse me, what are those things called? The fun things to do with money? No, not spend it. Savings challenges. Yeah, there you go. Savings challenges. Now, there are many videos about saving challenges. I had to figure out what works for me and my kids because I'm like, ooh, I got all these envelopes. I'm gonna make all these challenges. I'm gonna do all this stuff. I'm like, wait, where does the money come from? The money comes from your budget. If you have a little bit extra left over, it just doesn't go in your pocket. It can go to a savings challenge or back to sinking fund or towards debt, right? There's different ways to handle debt. Again, look at the internet. It'll tell you about snowball effect, avalanche, how to tackle your debt, right? My debt's unseen right now. It just gets taken out. So I messed up a long time ago. I'm trying to do right by my children to show them how and why to save. So this is their $75 goal. So when I'm budgeting, meaning there's money that I use to pay for stuff at the end of the week, right? I take that money that's left over. If big giant capital IF there's money left over, we take that money and we start to put it into a savings challenge, right? This one's their $75 one. I use the materials that I had laying around, old wrapping paper. I have a bunch of laminating sheets, right? Oh, and you can find the ideas on the internet. I like this one because it's visual, and all it is just numbers, right? Old yard sale stickers that I found in my mom's house, right? I put the denomination on there. So you draw randomly, boom, pick that one. Ooh, put $10 in there and you put it inside the slot. There's a key to it. I hide the key from the kids, so don't try to sneak around. And then we fill this in, right? It's a visual tracker for them and me to say, oh, cool. Saving is fun for the most part, right? For the people that are involved, but for us that is doing the budget, it can get frustrating. When it gets frustrating because you don't have enough money, when it gets frustrating because you miscount something and somebody in the comments goes, oh, it's in that fund. Why don't you double check? Yeah, we're double checking as we're doing it live for you, right? For the content, right? Again, sometimes the videos that you see, this is this person's job, right? They had lost a job like me, and is their job. Do I want YouTube to become my full-time job? No. I am a people person. I need to be around people and bother people. My career is in occupational safety and health, meaning helping people, workers like yourself, make informed decisions about their safety. And what else? Oh yeah, so again, there's nothing in here, right? Just extra envelopes. Right? I had time with a printer, right, and some vellum, and just trying things out, right? You can try the things out. That was a savings challenge that I tried to do, but what happened to the money? I had to use it. I had to reallocate it, meaning use it for something else. So that's what's cool about having money on the side for these things, because eventually the sinking funds will get you'll sink them, or you'll sink yourself, and then you'll need to, your life raft, right? Not your emergency fund. That's for like, oh shit, right? Sinking funds helps build that, right? So I'm just going to show you guys just the materials that I use and get this video wrapped up. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to make any more of these, but it's just to show the people that are already budgeting what I'm using, okay? That cover I made out of materials that I left around. This calculator was $10 with shipping, right, from Amazon. I've made a whole bunch of wallets. If you start to get into this, if you're a crafty person, cool. If not, it can take a toll on your finances if you don't have this stuff laying around. Because the vellum, the plastic, the materials, right, it starts to add up. But you can make a sinking fund for that. I know budgeters out there, or excuse me, I don't know any of them, but they have shared with us that they have sinking funds for budgeting, crafting their YouTube channel, because this is what they do. I'm like, cool. I'm not trying to sell this stuff, right? It's because I dabble in what I want and try to make it mine, meaning mine that works for me. I'm not going to say, yo, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. I'm going to do this better. I will never, ever say I'm doing it better. I will always say I'm doing it for me with what works for me. So I made a bunch of these things, right? Just to mess around, right? With the dimensions, because I found out that this one here, this with the gold and black letters, it only holds maybe 2 or 3 bills comfortably. I had to widen people like that. Widen the width of the bill so I can put 4, 5, 6, 8 bills inside here, because if I give a person a $50 bill or a $20 bill and I get change back, I gotta stuff that change back in here. I don't want to put it in my pocket. I don't want to put it in my wallet because it may go somewhere else. It may, the money leprechauns might come and get them. We're Potterheads too. Potter. Okay. So I've made a bunch of these, and it's a good hobby. It's a good time waster, because if you're not spending your money, right, what is it doing for you? Well, it could be getting interest. It could be, sitting there not being spent and trying to figure out where it goes. So I've done these. Again, you can find them on the internet, right? Again, I got to give props to He Budgets because, I don't look good with a purse. I've never tried. I don't want to. My tactical waist bag, I don't wear all the time. I can't wear all the time because of the other tools that I use or carry every single day. So my wallet is a part of my EDC, my everyday carry. So these work for me. What else? Harry, look around, point, look around, see what you got. Oh, I just recently had a fight with myself, meaning after watching the beautiful videos of all the gals and guys and gals doing their budgets and stuff, like, man, I want that set up. That looks cool, right? They got candles, they got roses, right? They got a nice, computer setup, and they got a lot of bills. I was like, that's them. I want it to be mine. So how do I make it mine? Well, I got the basics, right? I got the money, I got the pen, the paper, the calculator, all that stuff. Cool. I was always fighting with myself for the last month and a half about getting an acrylic cash holder or cash tray. And I'm like, yo, an acrylic cash tray on Amazon is like $12. I can probably get it on Temu for $6, but yo, that's spending money right now. Do I have that money? Yes. Do I want to spend it? Right? There's other things I want to spend it on, like what is this month? Oh, it's Christmas, right? I don't want to not use money for a gift because I have to use it on acrylic cash tray. I mean, they're cool. They're cool looking, right? They're makeup trays, or I found that they're eyeshadow palette makeup trays. Whatever, right? But I've seen some really cool DIYers out there with doing the cash budgeting thing, right? Because choosing to be frugal or know where your money goes or where to put your money is important because you just can't buy everything unless you have the budget for it. You budgeted for it, by all means, spend it how you see fit, and don't apologize for nothing, right? Today, I was at Hobby Lobby, and they had the 6 compartment container, and you cut off some ends, and like the one lady showed, and the one dude said, you take a Dremel to it. I'm like, I don't want to do all that work. I have the tools, right? But do I want to do that for a cash tray? I mean, those things are beautiful. This is my cash tray. Now, I did say I was a magician once upon a time, and I have a few decks of cards laying around. I would not do that with this deck here, right? If there's any budgeters out there that know what kind of deck this is, yeah, I would not do this with that. Hell no. This is a Circus deck. It actually means something to me. It was given to me by somebody that I care dearly for. She's no longer with us, but she always wanted to see me do magic tricks and things like that. I used to perform on stage and birthday parties, and that could be another story for another time. But I made my own cash tray tonight, and all it was, so this cash tray, if I did the money math, the deck was 50 cents, right? You can get them at you go to the stores and they have the used decks. 50 cents for the deck. I don't know how much a staple costs, but I used 16 staples in this thing. Some of you matching these up, I can probably figure it out. But this is my cash tray. Now people are like, oh yeah, it's cardboard. Yeah, it is, right? But look, I'm not going to be budgeting with I saw the one cat, she had $4,000 she's budgeting. I'm like, I put my phone down, I got up, I started clapping. I'm like, holy shit, she got her shit together. Me, it's going to be like, when I cash stuff, when me and the kids cash stuff, it is about, beginning of the month, it's about $2,000 because I take the rent, I take that out and I give it to my landlord in one of these envelopes that I've, printed out, folded, taped, right? And it's a nice presentation for that instead of a cashier's check because that costs money. I don't have regular checks yet because I just got my own account a couple months ago, right? Again, I'm going through some stuff. But bottom line is, if you're going to start budgeting, start slow, right? The information is out there. It is your job to go find it, right? And figure out what you like, what you don't like. Not every budgeting plan is for everybody. I started with different ones, right? On my computer, I have 2 different types of budgeting scenarios going. I got one for biweekly, and I got one for paycheck splitting. I'm not going to go into that right now because, again, there's videos upon videos of that. For right now, I just wanted to show you, where you can get started. And I wanted to thank all those budgeters and budgeteers, budget people out there. I like your lifestyle. I dig the nails, right? Those are the prettiest, coolest things, right? I don't have them, so I had to do something with my hands to make it look cool, right? Throw a shocker or two. But thank you for doing all the stuff that you guys do. And eventually, when I do, this money, this is not the play money. This actually has to go somewhere soon. I would love to buy the Etsy things, right? Maybe get a real cash tray, maybe get some cool savings trackers like the scratch off ones, or, they're people put their blood, sweat, and tears in these things, right? The actual, okay, I made my own $100 challenge envelope thingy. Have I started it? Hell no. I just made envelopes upon envelopes, right? I used to use this one for extra money, but then I just like, you know what? I'll just switch, materials because I started to run out of, paper, right? And so this is my 100 envelope challenge box. Is it uniform? Is it all the same? No. Why? Because it's mine, right? When will I start it? I don't know, right? But again, thank you for all you budgeting people out there. There are too many to say their names, or to put in the comment section, or how do you do that? Tag them. I don't know them all, right? But thank you. Continue to do what you do. Again, I'm not trying to compete with you, right? This video is to show you that, hey, I'm doing my best with the situation I got. Again, I'm going through a divorce. I'm in bankruptcy. I lost my job 3 weeks ago. What else? Christmas is coming up. Don't even worry about it. Kids will be taken care of, right? We're gonna go to my parents' house. They're about an hour away, right? We're gonna go. The family is leaning. They're allowing me to lean on them. I don't want to, but it's there. I just want to thank you guys for holding on this long. If you held on this long, please raise your hand. Give me a air high five. If you're coming back to this video, hey, you can skip through whatever you want. I'm not gonna put any timestamps. Remember, this is raw, uncut. This is Valdez Budgetz. I'm out.